I'm Ben Garren. I'm the Episcopal chaplain to the University of Arizona. I'm one of the millennial clergy. There's not a whole lot of us. I can't do office hours in my office. I don't see a point of just sitting in my office and doing work. So all my office hours I actually spend over at the Synod Leaf. A lot of it is taking time to sort of coordinate relationships with either other organizations here at the University of Arizona and other parishes here in Tucson to sort of see where can we make connections for events. Like tonight's event where, this was a very organic event, but it's just I have relationships with St. Albans. And so next thing we know, it's not just a small little service and the bishop coming and us just sort of being here with the bishop, but we're having a confirmation. I have people coming in from St. Albans, but it's suddenly a big sort of multi-community, multi-generational event. And so it's coordinating little events like this that's like part of my time. And then I have people just come and sit next to me across the table at the tea house and talk about anything and everything under the sun. I was in England, and that's when I sort of sat there and said, okay, I need to take some time off before going to get a higher degree and doing more studies in agricultural sciences, and I need to reflect on whether or not I should be called to ordain ministry. I was 23 at the time, and this started this long, crazy route. I went up and lived on a mission parish in the subarctic of Labrador. It's remote. I mean, rural doesn't encompass what this sort of section of Labrador is. You have to travel a day and get a ferry to get to a Walmart. And the community there was called the Métis people. And the Métis people are any individual who has about half of their lineage is European, third generation, and half of their lineage is second nation, indigenous people. And so it's this interesting mix of Native American indigenous cultural norms and European cultural norms. So you'll be having high tea, but with very indigenous food provided. But a lot of these churches were sort of what you would consider sort of outdoor garages, and then they would put like pews and things in there. And in one, they'd slowly accumulate a bunch of sort of random things from other churches, but no one had ever really organized them, and they were all sort of sitting in a pile to one side. And so one day I showed up and I just sort of coordinated something that looks more like a church. And they all are like, oh my gosh, this looks amazing. It's like, well, would you want to get together sometime later this week with actual power tools and some plywood to sort of fill in some gaps of the wood here and actually put this together? And they're like, oh yeah. And so then we did that. And so when I got there, I had this sort of tool shed with some church stuff in the corner. And when I left there after that week, they actually had a space you could walk into and like it said, you can worship here.